Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman. I hope everybody is doing well. I decided to go ahead and do a video today, and I am wearing my muscle t-shirt, so I just decided to throw on my cardigan, sit here with you guys, and just give you the tea from spirit. This is going to be a reading on Bill Gates, and I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this reading to be done. And I have to tell you something, that I did reach out to Bill Gates and I wanted to have him on my Soul Chat with Ray. I know a lot of people are probably like, well, why would you want to interview a man like Bill Gates? Well, I wanted to interview to see exactly what he was going to say. And just like I had suspected, I had sent him a DM on Instagram inviting him to my show, and he did not answer, no reply. Now, did I expect seriously for Bill Gates to reply? The answer is no. I knew that he would not reply, but I still wanted to see. And apparently, a lot of people that are commenting on his page, he's deleting a lot of the comments as well. So there is a lot about him that I'm going to get into. A lot of things that you have to understand, that before I go any further, as a disclaimer, that this reading is simply my own comments and opinions and insight from spirit, and that I'm very limited on what I can tell you, but a lot of you will be able to read between the lines, okay? Am I fearful in doing this reading? Yes, because this man is extremely powerful. And when a person has that much power in the world, and that much money, anything can happen. You know, anything can happen. We saw, like, a lot of the things with Epstein, you know, that what had happened with him. And so I got a lot of things to get into. The first thing that I want to say is that I know that a lot of people are probably wanting me to go deep and call Bill Gates out on everything, but I can't do that here on camera because, you know, there's certain things that I cannot discuss just for my safety and my own security. But I will tell you this. I'll give you as much as I can from spirit about what I see for him. Like, in his mind, the first thing that I kept getting from spirit, and I kept hearing them say, is that he never liked Steve Jobs, okay? The guy from Apple, the one that is no longer here with us, unfortunately. There was always this kind of rivalry, I feel like, but through the public eye, and through, you know, public press, etc., they may have seemed kind of like amicable, but I feel like there was this deep sense of jealousy, and maybe not even like some, you know, some hard feelings between the both of them, which I have to do a psychic reading on Steve Jobs, because I feel like that's very necessary. In Bill Gates' mind, when I tune into his inner psyche, he wants to be viewed as a messiah. He wants to be viewed as someone that has so much power, but yet is very benevolent. And it's almost those kinds that are very kind, and, you know, the way that it's portrayed on screen, very kind, very soft-spoken, that kind of manner, are the people that you have to be very careful with. Because a lot of things that we do not see in the human, to the human eye, is playing out in the background. There's a lot of greed around this man, a lot of power, but he doesn't pull all the strings by himself, okay? That's all I can say, is that he does not pull the strings by himself. And you can read into that however you want. His decisions in Microsoft, his decisions in any other where he has his investments and things like that, he does not make those decisions himself. There is a group of people, a society, as I like to call them, and they pull the strings. But he is the mastermind behind a lot of this. There is a sense that he would like to have, like I said, be worshipped and be kind of like known, and go out as being known as the great contributor here in the, you know, in the world, in the history books. But people would never know, like, the things that have been carried out behind the scenes. There's been a lot of corrupt things that have been carried out behind the scenes. And I'm not saying that necessarily these are corrupt things that he has done, because again, this is just my opinions and my own insight. But has been a lot of things where his money has gone to, where there has been some corruptness. And corruptness can fall in many categories. But there is a certain level of darkness around this person, which I think a lot of you already know that. I do feel like there is some kind of, on a very mental level, there is some kind of disconnect where his inner psyche, his mind, is not like everybody else's mind. Okay? I also feel like there has been some DNA that has been administered to him that has maybe altered his own DNA and his own thinking. Now, the one thing that kept very interesting when I'm talking about all this, these are things that I saw visions of in snapshots. The one thing that I kept seeing were prototypes of human, humazoid, I don't know what you want to call it. These were like human, but robotic things. And there's some projects and things like that they are working on, human artificial intelligence versus, or artificial intelligence meets human body. So you would see like myself, but it wouldn't be a human under that. It would be a robot, but it would be very human-like interactions. So there are prototypes or things like that that are being done, either by his money or by other people in his organization. And this organization, apart from the vaccines and what is being given. Now, he has a lot of people that support him, a lot of people that are paid that will come for other people and attack them. I have to tell you that I posted a meme about Bill Gates, and it was a test. I have to confess the reason that I posted it. It was about being against vaccines, which I am. I'm very much against the flu vaccine. Now, a lot of kids may need certain vaccines, and I stated that in my other video, you know, like polio and those kind of measles, mumps, chicken pox. Those things, you know, are like, you have to get them in order to go to school if you're a child, unless you're homeschooled. So I think a lot of people took it out of context, but I posted it to kind of test people and see the reaction. Now, I posted this after, like, few days after I had reached out to him, and I got nothing. And a lot of people came for me in the comments. A lot of people were, and I was like, why would you be so inclined to attack me over a post of Bill Gates? So he has people, eyes and ears everywhere. Okay. And as far as his, a lot of people think that perhaps this administration is all for Bill Gates. But I have to tell you that I don't feel like President Trump and his camp are necessarily on the same level, or they know how powerful Bill Gates is. Obviously, he's a billionaire. He has like tons of money and he has connections everywhere. But I don't feel like the wool is pulled over President Trump's eyes. Okay. And so I don't feel like a lot of his plans are being carried out. There's a lot of struggle, a lot of the funding, a lot of the things that Bill Gates wants to have done is meeting a lot of resistance from a lot of us light workers, from people who are spiritually awoken and can see into the depths of this man. And so he does have a lot of people protecting him. A lot of people have been paid. There's a lot of corruptness that has been taking place with the money. As far as like where it's been used and what it has been used to hide, and the testing and the things that he's done. So a lot of people talk about Bill Gates being very charitable and giving to these organizations, you know, selflessly. That may be true, okay, that he does give to certain organizations, and that, you know, this is the benevolent side to him. But there's two sides or more sides to Bill Gates and who he is as a person. I do feel like it's very narcissistic. At times he can be very narcissistic. I feel like he is very disconnected. And I do feel like on some level that he is sort of robotic. And I have to be very honest here. Like, I'm not trying to spread any gossip or anything, but what comes across from spirit is that he may actually have like a chip already in him, and if not, he may have some kind of DNA that is not of this world. Okay, so people were talking about, like, did he predict the virus that was that hit the whole entire world in 2019, specifically in Wuhan? You know, is he someone that has spiritual insight? Like, does he have that? The answer is yes. Like, he has some type of different DNA that is not human. Now, some people will be able to read between the lines of what that is. I also see a lot of dark magic and dark things that he may be involved in. And you probably would think, oh, he's a nerd. He's, he wears glasses and he looks like your average businessman. He would never, that would never happen. But I honestly feel like there is something there. There is something to that, a dark level of magical protection. No one rises in this world to the amount of fame and fortune that a person such as Bill Gates has without some kind of protection on a spiritual level. Okay? Now, I don't feel like this is a spiritual protection from the light. Okay? In the reading, I pulled some cards myself in addition to using my gift, because you can't just read cards and everything is spelled out in the cards. That doesn't work like that. But in the cards, I had two cards that came up. The Death card and the Devil card. Now, in other readings that I would be doing on people, and those would come up, I honestly feel like, it would have like an ending, it would have an alternate meaning than what you would normally see it. But I see a lot of death on this card, in this reading. And so the fact that I see a lot of death to me means that there may be something more sinister at play. Things that have been carried out not necessarily by his hand, but by people on his team that he may or may not be aware of. And that's all I can say. There has been a lot of dark, sinister things that have been covered up. There's a lot of decision making. He's very panicked at this time, because a lot of the people that are living in this kind of richness, in this world of a lot of power, are being unmasked, as we saw with Prince Andrew, as we saw with Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein. All of these people, there's a lot of powerful men and women that are in this society. And I call it a society because to say a cult, people will automatically think that it's me being a conspiracy theorist. And the reality of it all is that is what's going on. I also feel like there is connections to the royal government, the British government. So there is connections or money that he would have invested overseas. And there is some kind of, how do I put this? There is some kind of connection to the royal family, to the British royal family. And I'm not talking about being related by bloodline, but there is some kind of connection. There is some kind of investments and things that are going on. He has a lot of different properties all over the world. I keep seeing visions of something underground and hidden chambers in his house. So within his own property or estate, there are hidden levels underneath the ground. There are hidden chambers. And there are computers that watch everything from miles apart, miles away. I also feel like there's a lot of technology that the government is not aware of that may already be implemented. Some people call these drones, etc. There is a lot of people that are hackers around the world that may be connected to people in Gates' team. Okay? That have a lot of information, a lot of dirt on a lot of people as well. And it's, when you talk about this, when I'm talking about this, it's like leverage. There are other powerful people that would love to take him out. There are a lot of powerful people that would like to, and when I say take out, I don't mean like to us, you know, murder or assassinate or anything like that. I'm talking about like getting him legally busted or legally exposed in some kind of way, you know, accusations. But I also feel like those people are very aware that he has a lot of dirt. Like I said, and I'm going to say throughout this reading, people with that kind of power and money do not get to that level without having some kind of leverage and having some kind of spiritual protection, whether it's a dark or a light spiritual protection. And to me, this is a very dark, sinister protection. There's a lot of desires, and as far as the virus is concerned, he knew about this. He knew about it. He kind of knew things, and there is a correlation between the virus and him, and people already know that, and they've put that two and two together. So I'm not going to talk about that too much, again, for purposes of the limitations within my own self. I don't even know if to this point of this video is going to be taken down, because a lot of videos are being taken down that are about him, okay? But I'm being as respectful as I can. Does Bill Gates have like a good side to him? Does he have any humanity left in him? That's the question that I think a lot of people want to know. I honestly feel like there is this small percentage, like a small percentage of actual happiness within him. But I honestly feel like there's a lot of hatred towards mankind and what mankind are doing that does not fall in his mindset of principles and things that he would like to see happen in the world. Okay? This is spiritual warfare, people, that I'm talking about. Spiritual warfare. There are people that are in power that are working with darkness, and there are people in power that are working with light. And we have a lot of those people that are working for both sides. And we have people that are just working for one side. Okay? But a lot of this is blurred lines. Things that are kind of sketchy. Cover up. Like there is a cover up for everything. There is a veil, like a thick veil, covering things up. Things are very coded. There are ties to Italy. I keep hearing spirits saying to Rome, to the Catholic Church. So I don't know exactly what Mr. Gates is involved in, but there are a lot of things, and they take me back to the Da Vinci Code. A lot of the things are showing me a correlation between things that are very ancient. He has access to hidden knowledge, ancient knowledge, and things that other people are not privy to. There is some kind of ancient knowledge and correlation to Italy and to like the Da Vinci Code and those kind of things. There are codes and diagrams and sacred geometry that is used in structures and hand signals and signs that people only in this society will know and be able to use, okay? And that's all I can tell you for my safety again. And you may not want to believe it, you may not want to choose to believe it, but this is the truth. They use codes and signs. They don't verbalize a lot of the things like I'm verbalizing to you on the camera. They use a lot of signs and handshakes, hand gestures, touching their face a certain way. There's maybe like a certain look, a pursing of the lips. Sounds very much like The Devil Wears Prada. When you look at, when Anna Wintour, or not Anna Wintour, but, Miranda, whatever her name is, Miranda, she goes into that fashion designer, right? And if you watch The Devil Wears Prada, and Andy was like, well, what is she going to do? Like, is he going to cancel the collection just because she makes, she's not happy with it? He's like, if she looks pursed lips and looks the other way, and Miranda in the movie, she's like, when she doesn't like the dress that he's designed for the collection, it's this red ensemble anyways, she purses her lips like this and turns to the other side. And that's kind of like exactly how I feel like some of their language, this language that they have is used. Um, there is going to be a lot of revelations, but for the most part, he will be one of those people that is not going to be exposed like people would want him to be. Like I said, there is a lot of ambiguity. There is a lot of obscurity. There's a lot of cover-ups to another cover-up, and a lot of lies, a lot of things that are always like going to be there. Again, the protection that he has is ancient DNA that's not from this world. And we're talking about, this is going to sound very weird, okay? It's going to sound out of the question. People will not talk about this. They will not talk about it. There are beings that used to live in this world. People call them dinosaurs, or some people may call them fossils. But there's ancient DNA that belonged to a secret or an ancient bloodline that was not of Jesus Christ, that was not of the good. There is DNA that belonged to demons or Nephilim, or however you want to call it, the fallen angels. That is very angelic. There is that bloodline that still exists within tombs. And I do feel like there has been some kind of access to this DNA, which is very, very, and what it does, it reverses the aging process. Not only does it reverse the aging process, but it also gives you a lot of spiritual insight, a lot of the clairvoyant and psychic abilities that we normally would have as natural born psychics, etc. It does a lot of different things into the actual DNA structure of the human. And this person has, there is something about that connected to Gates, okay? That's all I can say. Somehow they have secret artifacts and see a lot of other things that have been revealed to him. Hidden chambers. I keep seeing hidden chambers. Things underneath the cities. Access. There's access points all across the world. Wherever he has properties, they are already shelters. They want to start a war, is what Spirit is saying. Like, I don't know how Gates has a hand in this, but they want to start a war. And this is not just the biological war that we're talking about, but actual war in the world, where, you know, people in certain countries would be wiped out, because a lot of these places have I don't even know if I can say this. They have information that could kind of, you know, put him in a very bad position, you know, and be exposed. So there are a lot of people, but a lot of those people have been, and I don't know all those details. Like, a lot of that stuff that Spirit is mentioning, they won't allow me to know for my safety, because again, there is a potential that this video could be taken down. There is a lot of hate that I could get from this, and not only that, but heaven knows what else. So I have to be like very, very careful with my words and choosing the things that I say. I do not feel like his relationship is based out of love. I don't feel like any woman that he has been with is actually like a love relationship, but more of like a business contract. And I also feel like when I tap into him, that he has the DNA of both, like, well, I'm not going to say I'm going to stop using the word DNA, but he has two different parts of him, okay? I don't know what that means, but Spirit is telling me that he has two parts. People have duality. I always talk about the divine feminine, the divine masculine, but there is something else about him that maybe more on a spiritual level. And there is a lot of fossils and stuff. They're trying to start some kind of experiment to bring dinosaurs back too. the ancient ones. I keep hearing the ancient ones. So again, whatever this is, it's a secret society, and I cannot not go for it. I don't want to even know about it further. But they are trying to bring back the ancient ones and bring back that kind of race of whatever this is. But it is not of this world, and it's not good. It's not good at all. The Devil card came out, and again, I saw like a lot of you know, turmoil surrounding him. But I also feel like there is something with money being given to a younger person, a new project being formed, and several people taking off and doing several parts and then reporting back. And so, like, I know that a lot of people are like, well, can you talk not in riddles and stuff? But that's what I'm getting. Like, I have to give you exactly what I get. This may not have been the reading that you were expecting me to give. You were probably expecting me to say Bill Gates is the devil, he is the Antichrist, and stuff like that. But I'm not going to say those kind of things, because again, there's a lot of repercussions that can come from them. And not only that, but there are certain limitations and codes, things that I have to go by here on the YouTube to be very respectful, just like any other person that I would do a reading on. I have to be very respectful. But there are things that I revealed, and things that I've dropped in, and things that I have omitted and not even said in this video, because I'm not going to say it, that I know of, that what Spirit has revealed to me. And I know a lot of other people in the world have known and seen. So, like I said, I don't feel like this person is going to ever be fully exposed, but there will be people that come out and then disappear for talking more than what they should have, or for even crossing paths. Because again, there's a lot of power, and there's a lot of money. And you would be surprised how many people can be bought. People say, well, I would never be bought. I would never, put my morals and values, against money. I would never lower my standards. I was raised to be honest, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, when money, and I mean tons of money, is offered, people forget that. It goes out the door. Money talks in this world, and there are people that can be bought. There are people that can be sold. There's a lot of things that are going on, but believe you me when I say that the ancient ones, the evil ones that used to walk the earth, are still here. A lot of those things are dormant and asleep, but they are doing things to kind of, and I'm not again saying who, but there are people in this world that are doing things to resurrect this race of darkness. So I leave you with that, my friends. I love you so, so much. Please do not get scared. Please do not get afraid. These are just my insights and things that I see. There could be things that I'm wrong about. I'm not always, 100%, and no psychic is. I can only give you exactly what I see and hear. But just, take it, hold on to it, and I wish you so, so much love and blessings. And I want to thank you for your support here on my channel. I also want to say that if you do want to book a private reading, that all of my readings are on sale. All of them. Like, I've slashed all of my prices to help out you guys, to also help myself, because again, these are difficult times that we're going through in the world. But I will tell you that I never take you for granted, and I really, really am very appreciative of you guys here on my channel. And I want to thank you again for your love and your support, and for just keeping me going. If you have any other requests, please leave it in the comments section below. Blessings and love and light. Big angel hugs. Bye.